The glowworms, fairy stars, come down to ground, gleam the shadowy woods through summer's round. Then fall's leaves flutter through the quiet air, the autumn being the sunset of the year. The rustling of the trees comes to my ear in this, the most mellow time of year. The harvest brings fulfillment, yearning too, for autumn is both a smile and a tear. Each year in October, Jack in the Green has a chilled rendezvous with old autumn, who colors the leaves that Jack made verdant a season ago. They meet out in the woods, although never in the same place, for seasons come and go and meet each other as they may. This year old autumn was a little late, so Jack in the Green sat down on a stump. Jack pondered his disappearing green youth, for someday he would have to take autumn's place and perform all of his withering tasks. A few days later, old autumn came by. He gave unto Jack a cheery greeting and a warm embrace that marked summer's end. He gazed fondly at Jack, his younger self, and saw the vitality that was once his, and said, "Once I was young, once I was you." "I know," said Jack. "Do you remember how I refused to believe you, saying no?" "Yes," remembered old autumn very well. "Like the time I met the old man, winter, on a snowy December day long ago. He told me that he was my older self. But I didn't believe him, told him off. True, I was already feeling my age, but after seeing the old white-haired geezer, I felt young again. Yes, he knew me well." "Right," said Jack, "so I made a little poem. When younger I knew not my elder same, but when older I told my younger same that youth must be young. He knew not my name, it was my younger self who was to blame." Swallows twittered in the skies as sprightly Jack in the Green picked a ripening gourd and gave it to old autumn, who encouraged, "You won't have to meet the old man until you take my place, for only I can see him. After I take down the last of the oak leaves. For now, the old man sends but his errand boy, Jack Frost, your twin brother. Hi-ho, here he comes. Ah, young Jack, this is the rarest of days, for the three of us can be together. But once a year on this bright day, cool night." "The old man is so lonely, is he not?" asked Jack in the Green, "for he sees only you." "Yes, old man Winter lives cold and alone. He never sees the fair maidens of spring who reinvent the natural world each year."
There is a chill in the air as Jack Frost arrives and sings out a greeting. "Hello, my brother. Hello, old autumn. It's going to be cold. Our first frost, but don't worry too much. It won't harm the pumpkins any at all." Old autumn sighed and quick replied, "Good. Now the rest of the leaves will crack and fall, all the more due to the ice in their veins. Yes, they'll fall like the illusions of youth, lying carelessly on the granary floor, and on a half-reaped furrow sound asleep, drowsed with the fume of poppies," as Keats wrote. Composing himself, old autumn continued, "And for those of you who think that warm days will never cease, let us ever remember dear Johnny Keats, who died so young at 25. However, he lived and saw more than some of us might hope to do in a lifetime." A shiver ran through Jack in the Green, hence he said, "It's cold. I must go now, for summer passed away in his sleep last night. Autumn, sweet and plump, carries his offspring. The year dies in the night. Ghostly winter looms. Lo, the flower is already in the seed. Well done, young Jack in the Green. Quick go, for soon enough comes your autumn of care sobering into age, thence into the pale white winter of death. Though not yet your warm, indolent summer of contentment lazing into middle age, but surely past is our crisp, flowering youth spring of joy. Such then comes the end of summer's dreams, the blanching of the grassy banks of streams, but all fragrances my elves remember through their long sleep in the winter embers. The blossoms fall, showers of fragrant beauty, as leaves fade while the bulbs store up energy. Nature's floral dreams grant this destiny, for these leavings enrich earth's potpourri. Flowers lay their heads to sleep in soft beds, blanketed by webs of gossamer threads. My elfin creatures cast their spectral glow as winter stars, floral twins, start to grow. Later, when surely all the world is dead, an elf will stand atop old winter's grave and say, "'Tis not dead," and by magic bread make snowdrops flower in the tomb's heat wave.
Once I, the author, ventured outside at 4 on a dark, frosty October morning. It was so quiet that I could sense the cosmos as it played rhythm to my beating heart. I saw a preview of the winter stars. Orion, you are so high in the sky, there for only the astronomer's eye as all those meteors go flying by. Then I heard a rustling sound in the leaves around me, a skunk perhaps. But no, it was the sound of many falling leaves. I knew that it must be him, old autumn. He was out there somewhere. Then I sensed him going by, for some of the leaves on the tree right in front of me broke loose and floated away, hitting some other leaves on the way down, making that rustling sound. Soon it started up on the next tree, and then the next, and so I could very well follow the path of old autumn making his rounds in the misty October morn. Chrysanthemums drank the mellow day, falling petals carried the light away. The weed flowers grew, marking autumn's track, the blossoms that almost brought the spring back, but winter's white death wrap was drawn over, smothering the earth's last warm, sweet odor. The autumn fog enswirled, the mist upcurled. Into nothingness the wisp slow unfurled. November flew by, a colorless dearth, and December amid death a festive birth. Youth and beauty made aged winter mourn for summer's grain, the waving wheat and corn. For old autumn withered one had passed on, leaving the earth a widow, weather-worn. Long since have the winds scattered the leaves of the trees to make of them a burial shroud for the flowers that died, grieving at summer's passing. All is death. The fall is now nearly lost to memory. Winter is summer's ungrateful heir, squandering his riches and abusing his gifts. It's not old man winter's fault, but his duty. Summer lies underground now, forgotten, silent and crusty, covered by winter's stern mantle. Only April's tears can make his grave lush again in the springtide. As seasons pass, the world comes to our door. Spring sings through the winged troubadour. Summer calls with the rose midst the woodlaw. Autumn crows, plump and sweet, through frosty hoar. Joy and exuberance are spring's largesse. Sunlight, warmth and growth are summer's bequest. Autumn brings wealth with the mellow harvest. Winter's fruit is peace, its bounty is rest. Past us is the flower of spring's soft breath, though not ended our summer of promise. Soon enough will come the autumn of care, beheld at last the dull white shroud of death. March, April, spring will reign as we may there, between June and her sister September, then prolong the fall, till November come December, when we can sweet remember. In the whisperings of the after years, the winds of time slowly dry the tears. Nor would I take back a single drop, for from those tears the flowers grew without fears. In spring we rise from the garden at birth. Summer blooms long with the rose's fresh mirth. Autumn creeps in, we wither on the vine. Last comes winter, when we return to earth.
Drive my dead thoughts over the universe like withered leaves to quicken a new birth. And by the incantation of this verse, scatter as from an unextinguished hearth ashes and sparks my words among mankind. Be through my lips to unawakened earth the trumpet of a prophecy. O wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind?
In the grand theatre of life, seasons take their bow, each playing a unique role, each leaving an indelible mark. The unending cycle, an eternal dance of change, brings forth the vivid hues of life. The tale begins with young Jack in the Green, youthful, Full of life, he ushers in the vibrant spring, a season of joy and renewal, a time when blossoms bloom and fragrance fills the air, painting a canvas of hope and new beginnings. But as the wheel turns, the fleeting spring gives way to the indolent summer, a time of contentment and warmth, where the grassy banks of streams bask in the golden sunlight. Yet the end of summer's dreams is inevitable. The grass blanches, the blossoms fall, and nature begins her descent into the autumn of care. Autumn, a poignant reminder of the transient beauty of life. The leaves fade, the flowers lay their heads to sleep, and the earth is enriched with their leavings. It's a spectacle of spectral glow as elfin creatures cast their light under the winter stars. A time when the world seems to stand still, shrouded in a sense of mystery and anticipation. This is Old Autumn, the harbinger of change. He rustles through the leaves, leaving a path of transformation. The chrysanthemums drink in the mellow day, their falling petals carrying the light away. The air is filled with the sweet odor of earth, a lingering reminder of the summer past. Yet the cycle continues. The autumn fog unfurls into the stark white winter, a time of stillness, of introspection. The earth, now a widow, mourns the passing of Old Autumn. The once vibrant landscape is now a burial shroud for the flowers that grieved at summer's passing. All seems lost in death. But there is beauty even in this darkness, in the silence of winter. It is not a time of abuse or squandering, but rather a duty, a necessary pause, a quiet before the renewal. And so, the tale comes full circle. Winter gives way to spring. April's tears awaken the earth from its slumber, and young Jack in the Green is reborn. The cycle of seasons, a testament to the resilience of life, continues its eternal dance. The emotions evoked by the changing seasons are a reflection of life itself. Joy, contentment, care, mystery, introspection, and renewal. Each season carries its own tale, its own emotion. And as the seasons pass, we are reminded of the transient beauty of life and the eternal hope of renewal.
Continued his conversation with his youthful counterparts. Yes, my dear Jacks, the end of the season is always a time of reflection. The leaves, much like our lives, go through a cycle. They are born, they thrive, they change, and eventually they fall. But even in their falling, there is beauty and purpose. Jack in the Green, the embodiment of spring's energy, looked at the gourd in his hands. He felt a mixture of admiration and apprehension for the life cycle that Old Autumn had just described. He asked, "But how can we find joy in this cycle, knowing that it ends in a fall?" Old Autumn chuckled and replied, "Ah, my young friend, that is the beauty of it. We are not meant to fear the fall, but to embrace it as a part of our journey. It is the fall that makes way for new life, for your vibrant green to return once again." As they conversed, Jack Frost, the harbinger of winter, listened intently. He added, "And it is the cold that preserves and prepares the world for your return, Jack in the Green. We each play our part in this dance of seasons." In the quiet of the woods, Old Autumn, Jack in the Green, and Jack Frost shared a moment of understanding. They were different, yet the same, each playing their part in the endless cycle of life and seasons. The story of Old Autumn and Jack in the Green is a reminder of the cycles of life and the beauty in each phase. Like the seasons, we go through periods of growth, change, and letting go. Each phase has its purpose and beauty, and each one prepares us for the next. We need not fear the fall, for it is a part of our journey, a necessary step for new life to spring forth.
Have you ever pondered the cyclical nature of life, seen through the lens of the changing seasons? How do we perceive our own existence within the eternal dance of spring's birth, summer's bloom, autumn's decay, and winter's rest? This is the theme we explore today through the eloquent words of one of the major English Romantic poets, Percy Bysshe Shelley. March, April, spring, will reign as we may there between June and her sister September, then prolong the fall till November come December, when we can sweet remember. The poem starts with a joyful proclamation of the seasons, a celebration of the passage of time. Shelley paints a vivid picture of the months, personifying them as they dance through the year. This opening stanza is a testament to the cyclical nature of existence and the beauty of each phase of life. In the whisperings of the after years, the winds of time slowly dry the tears. Nor would I take back a single drop, for from those tears the flowers grew without fears. In the second stanza, Shelley delves into the theme of resilience. He suggests that our past sorrows, symbolized by tears, are not to be regretted but revered. They are the nourishment from which the flowers of our strength and wisdom grow. In spring we rise from the garden at birth. Summer blooms long with the rose's fresh mirth. Autumn creeps in, we wither on the vine. Last comes winter when we return to earth. Drive my dead thoughts over the universe like withered leaves to quicken a new birth. And by the incantation of this verse, scatter as from an unextinguished hearth ashes and sparks my words among mankind. In the fourth stanza, Shelley asks for his thoughts, symbolized by withered leaves, to be carried across the universe, sparking new life. This is his desire for his words, his poetry, to inspire and enlighten humanity, to provoke thought and stimulate change. Be through my lips to unawakened earth the trumpet of a prophecy. O wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? The final stanza is a rallying cry, a call to action. Shelley asks the wind, the carrier of his words, to awaken the world with his prophetic message. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? This is a message of hope, a reminder that after every ending comes a new beginning. To summarize, Shelley's poem is a beautiful exploration of the cyclical nature of life, seen through the changing seasons. It is a celebration of the beauty of each phase of existence, from the joy of birth to the wisdom of old age. It is a reminder that our past sorrows are not to be regretted but revered, for they are the seeds from which our strength and wisdom grow. It is a call to action, a plea for us to awaken to the beauty and potential of our own existence. And most importantly, it is a message of hope, a reminder that after every ending comes a new beginning. As we close today, may we carry Shelley's words in our hearts, and may they inspire us to celebrate the beauty of each season of our lives, to honor our past sorrows as the seeds of our strength, and to embrace the hope of new beginnings.